Alright, welcome to the dungeon. So we have 2 cakes to build, and we are going to start kind of just tearing into stuff and seeing where we get to. So I just ripped apart this Halloween light, and I got this shiny little bugger, and yeah. So I think that is going to work for that. So that's all set. So now it's on to the windmill. And we'll see how this goes. TC 20 RPM. Okay. All right. So I have a bunch of these little motors that I got, and the plan is that I need to mount this sideways, and I have them at different RPMs because I'm not sure how fast I want it to spin. Again, if I don't use them for this project, I'll use them for something else, so I never sweat the small stuff. I usually buy more than I need, and then I'll have it for another project later on. I have 2 of these nice ball bearings though. And these will support the shaft, which, let me go grab the shaft. So all cakes need structure. Cake's natural state is that of the lump. So if there's no structure inside of the cake, it's gonna fall over, especially if it's a long, narrow, skinny cake, like a lighthouse or like a windmill. Especially a windmill, because it's going to have a lot of force in the blades of the windmill. And so we need to think about the structure. So when we have long, narrow, skinny cakes, our favorite structure is to go with pipe and flange, in which case we have these nice galvanized pipes and galvanized flanges, and they just screw together. You get them in various lengths, and they come and they have nice screw holes. And so that way I can screw it right into my base of my cake. And then if I grab a second flange, I can screw that like so. And this will actually be the inner structure for the windmill here. And so this flange will support the motor and everything else that happens. And so I'm going to mount the motor underneath. And then on top of the motor will be these 2 bearings. See if I can hold all this. The motor and the 2 bearings, like so. They'll probably be a little bit wider. And so I need a housing for the motor and something for the bearings to screw into. And then once I get all that, I bought a tiny little sewing machine pulley. And this little guy should fit right over the end of that, and it does. Good. And so this sewing machine pulley will probably just be rubber band driven. So I also have a shaft here. And the shaft looks to be a good bit smaller than the bearing, but that's okay because this is low RPM and I can clamp it down just fine, and for our applications it'll do the job. And so this is what the blades will spin on. So that's complicated. You'll see how it goes together as I do it. Cool. All right, so that's pretty much the structure for the lighthouse. All we gotta do then is glue the spinny piece up top, and that's it. We'll wrap all the metal and wood in plastic. Probably even do some nice blue tape here so it doesn't look so shabby. Wrap it all in plastic so nothing touches any food. We'll do cardboards and everything like we normally do. And yeah, we'll have a nice light that spins around up top here. It'll be a lighthouse.